Good morning, students. In today's session, we will discuss about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Now, what's the meaning of the word chemical properties? Then, chemical property of an element are those that show when an element undergoes a chemical reaction. Then, what happens? That is called chemical properties, and different elements react differently in a chemical reaction. Now, metal and non-metals. We are going to study about the metal and non-metal, their chemical properties. Then first we will discuss about the reaction with the oxygen, and the next it will be the reaction with the water, then reaction with the dilute acids, and the reaction with the bases. Okay, then see one by one. The first is the reaction with the oxygen. Then the metals, when they react with the oxygen, then they form the metal oxides. They form the metallic oxides. One example is there on heating magnesium ribbon. It burns with a white dazzling flame and the magnesium oxides are formed. You have to learn this line. When the metal react with the oxygen, then metal oxides are formed. Then magnesium is also a metal, then it will react with the oxygen, then it will form the magnesium oxide. Okay. Now, when this magnesium oxide is dissolved in the water, then magnesium hydroxide is formed. Magnesium hydroxide means base. It is a basic hydroxide. Sorry, magnesium hydroxide is formed. Then it is a basic oxide. Then it turns red litmus to blue. It turns red litmus to blue. The next is uh, iron not react with the dry air. Iron is also a metal, but it does not react with the dry air. And when it comes in contact with the moist air, then oxides are formed. Then it oxidized, and the oxides of iron is formed. Now see, this is a equation which shows that iron when react with the moist air means oxygen plus water, then it forms a red color substance that is called the rust, and the formula is Fe2O3 dot NH2O. N means number of H2O. As the number of water molecules, if they will be more than the here also the water molecules will be more. Then this is the number of water molecule. N is the number of water molecules. Okay. Then next, with oxygen, iron forms rust. I told you, iron forms rust with the moist oxygen, or we can say moist air. The moisture is required. Then second, copper coated with the green material. When we leave the copper article for a long time, then copper articles develop a greenish coating of the basic copper carbonate, of the basic copper carbonate, CuCO3 into CuOH whole twice. This is the basic copper carbonate. This is formed and its color is greenish and it form a green. It means this material deposit on the utensils or the material of the or any article of the copper, and it is green in color. Now next is silver. Silver also react with the oxygen, or we can say with the air, and a black color coating, blackish coating is deposited. Blackish coating is formed over the silver articles. Okay, then silver, gold, platinum, these are mostly non-reactive, then they do not react with the oxygen. Non-metal with oxygen, they give the non-metal oxide. non-metallic oxide, and these are acidic oxide, and when they dissolve in the water, then they form the acid. They form acid. Not the acidic oxide, they are already the acidic, they are acidic in nature, and with water they form the acids. Now next, it turns blue litmus to red because because with water it forms the acid, then acid converts blue litmus to the red. The next is reaction with the water. Then metal, they react with the water and form the metal oxide, and hydrogen gas is evolved. And sodium, very reactive metal. It reacts vigorously with the hydrogen and oxygen and water. A lot of heat is generated in this reaction. That's why it is stored in kerosene. It does not react with the kerosene. That's why it is stored in the kerosene. If it will kept in the room temperature, then it will also react with the oxygen and catch the fire. That's why, and inside the water also it may catch the fire. That's why it is stored in the kerosene. Then non-metals generally do not react with the water, and phosphorus, it is a very reactive non-metal, and it is also stored in the water because in at room temperature it may catch fire. Okay, now next is reaction with the dilute acids. Then metals, uh, uh, they react uh, in two ways. The metals which are above in the reactivity series above the hydrogen, they react with the dilute acid, and salt and hydrogen is formed. Salt and hydrogen is formed. And those which are below the hydrogen in the reactivity series, they do not react with the uh, dilute acid. That's why their reactivity is because their reactivity is very less. That's why they do not react with the dilute acid. And the non-metal, they do not react with the dilute acid. There is no reaction with the dilute acid. Okay, the next is, in this I told you, metal when react with the dilute acid, then hydrogen gases evolve. Now how you will check the gas which is coming out, that is the hydrogen? Then for that we can test by bringing a burning matchstick or splinter near the mouth of the test tube. If it is a hydrogen gas, then hydrogen will put off the splinter with pop sound. With pop sound. Then this is a test of hydrogen. If it happens, then the gas which is coming out is it proves that that gas is hydrogen. When the base, they react with the metal and non-metal, then they react differently. Then if they react with the metals, then complex salts and hydrogen gas is formed. And non-metals, they form a multiple product complex reaction. It is a very complex reaction and multiple products may be formed. Is it okay? Now once again, revise it. The first is reaction with oxygen. Metal with oxygen, they react and form the metal oxide. And those metal oxides, when dissolved in the water, form the basic hydroxide. They form the here it is written oxide, then it should be the hydroxide, and it turns red litmus to the blue. Okay, the next iron, it forms the rust with the moisturized air. The next is iron forms rust, and copper coated with a green material, and silver coated with a blackish coating. Then what about the non-metal? Non-metal, they react with the oxygen and form the acidic oxides, and which when dissolved in the water turn the blue litmus to red. And reaction in the water, metal, they react with the water and form the metal oxide and hydrogen. And non-metal, they generally do not react. Even phosphorus, it is very reactive and it is stored in the water. If it is stored in the air, then it may catch fire. That's why it is stored in the water, and with water it doesn't react. Reaction with the dilute acid, metal, they form the salt and hydrogen, whereas the non-metal, they do not react. Now, test of hydrogen, I told you, you have to bring a burning matchstick or the splinter near the mouth of the test tube, and if it put off with a pop sound, then it is a hydrogen. Then last is reaction with the bases. Then reaction with the bases, metal form a complex salts and hydrogen gases evolve. And non-metal, it is a complex reaction, many products may be formed. Okay, thanks for watching the video.